So we've been focusing on how to factor things that can be factored. But what if now, instead of saying just factor it straight up, what if I said that I want you to divide by something certain? What if I said when you make that box, I want you to have something special right here, and then what would you get up here? And that's where dividing comes in. I want you to divide by a certain number. And so we're going to talk about long division of polynomials. And so do you guys remember back in 5th grade when you learned how to take 351 divided by 7? And you had to go through all that work of saying, well, 7 doesn't go into 3, but 7 goes into 35 5 times. 5 times 7 is 35. You subtract, you get 0, you bring down the 1. 7 goes into 1 0 times. Now you have a remainder of 1. So we can do that with polynomials also. I can set up a long division here with polynomials. And I'm just going to show you real quick. Actually, we're going to do this with boxes, but I just want to show you what it looks like. So I want to take x cubed plus 3x squared plus 3x plus 1. And I want to divide by x plus 1. And so then what I'm doing is oh man, what just happened? Okay. What I'm doing is I'm taking this and I'm saying how many times does it go into this part right here? How do I make x cubed out of x? And I'd have to multiply by x squared. And then I'm actually going to do that multiplication, so I get x cubed plus x squared. Then just like with regular long division, I have to subtract those things, so the x cubes cancel and I get 2x squared plus 3x. And then I keep on going. How do I get x to be 2x squared? Well, I would have to multiply by 2x. And so 2x times x is 2x squared. 2x times 1 is 2x. I'm going to subtract. Those cancel out. I get 1x plus 1. And how do I turn x into 1x? Well, I'd have to multiply by 1. So 1 times x plus 1 is x plus 1. I'd subtract. Those cancel out. Those cancel out. So there's no remainder. Now that's long division by polynomials. I went kind of fast because you don't really have to learn it that way. Since we have the box at our disposal, we can use the box to do this. So here's how you do that. Remember, the whole point of the box is what's in the box is this polynomial. This has to fit in the box. This is going to be on the outside, and we're going to figure out what this is, and that's going to be this answer right here. That's going to go there. So we're going to have x plus 1 there, so it's going to be by 2, okay? And we're going to figure out what goes on top. Now, notice I'm not finishing off this box. I'm not actually drawing another vertical line to close it because I don't know how big it is yet. So I'm actually going to leave it open. And what I do is I start by putting x cubed in there. And then I say, okay, sorry. So x cubed is in there, and in fact, when I look up here at this polynomial, I'm going to start crossing it off. As soon as it's in there, I'm going to cross it off so I know I'm done with that. So x cubed is there. I'd have to multiply by x squared. And I can fill in the bottom box. That's going to be x squared. Okay, now I'm looking at 3x squared, and I'm saying, okay, how can I get 3x squared? So far I have 1. I need 2 more. So I'm going to make this top box 2x squared. Now if I do that, that means above it I'm going to need a 2x in order to multiply by x to get 2x squared. So that means the bottom box, oh, by the way, I have 3x squared. I can cross that off. So now the bottom box is going to be 2x. So now I go to 3x and I say, well, what do I need? I need 1 more x. So now I've taken care of 3x. That's there. Excuse me. So then x, x times 1 gives me x. So I'm going to have to put a 1 above that. 1 times 1 is 1. And what I need is a 1, and I have a 1, so I'm done. So I've taken care of the entire polynomial. It's in there. So now I know my answer is x squared plus 2x plus 1. So I can just say that if I took and I divided by x plus 1, it would equal x squared plus 2x plus 1. So let's try another one. What just happened? So I'm not totally sure what just happened. You probably didn't notice it, but what I'd like to do now is actually try to do this problem. So I'm going to set up a box, and I'm going to take that x plus 1, put that there, And x cubed is going to go in my first box there, so x cubed's taken care of. That means I have to multiply by x squared, and then that means the bottom is going to be x squared. Now I want a 6x squared, so I need to put 5x squared there. That takes care of the 6x squared. Well, in order to get 5x squared, I need to take that times 5x. So 5x times 1 is 5x. Now I want to get 11x, so I'm going to have to put another 6x there to take care of that. Okay, so then I'd have to multiply by 6, and 6 times 1 is 6, which takes care of that. So it divides unevenly. There's no remainder. Now, let me tell you how you can write this. This problem says to divide, so it's saying take x cubed plus 6x squared plus 11x plus 6, and we're dividing by x plus 1. And I can tell you that that equals x squared plus 5x plus 6. Okay, so we're writing our answer, our answer that we got here. That's our whole answer for the problem, because the problem says to divide it. Now, when we did double bubble and stuff, we would do things like saying x plus 1 times x squared plus 5x plus 6 equals the polynomial. And that's just writing it as a product of polynomials. So it all depends on your instructions. But if all it tells you to do is divide, then you can just say what you got as an answer at the top. So let's do another one. This might be a good time for you to hit pause and try it yourself. But really, it's not that bad once you get going here. So we got x plus 2. I need to fit x cubed in the box. So that's there. I need x squared here. That gives me a 2x squared. I want to get 6x squared. So notice this is the same polynomial. I'm just dividing by a different thing this time. So I want to get 6x squared, so I'd have to get 4x squared here to do that. So 6x squared is taken care of. To get 4x squared, I'd need to multiply by 4x, and 4x times 2 is 8x. So now I need 3x to get up to 11x, so that's taken care of. In order to get 3x, I'd have to have a 3 up here, and 3 times 2 is 6, which is what I have there. So again, this divides unevenly, and my answer is x squared plus 4x plus 3. All right, so let's just keep trying. I'm guessing what's going to happen here is pretty soon we're going to get one where it doesn't divide in evenly. So I'll set up my box. I have x plus 1 that I'm dividing by. X cubed is my first thing, so I have to have an x squared up there. X squared times 1 is x squared. So x cubed is taken care of. Now I want 4x squared, so I'll need a 3x squared here. X times 3x gives me 3x squared. 3x times 1 is 3x. Alright, so now I need a 5x, so that I need 2x more, so 5x is taken care of. In order to get 2x, I need that to be a 2, and 2 times 1 is 2, which is there. So again, this one divided evenly, and my answer is x squared plus 3x plus 2. Alright, this looks like almost a double bubble one. It's a short one. Alright, let's try it out. So we have x plus 6, 2x squared here. So in order to get 2x squared, I need 2x. 2x times 6, oh boy, that's 12x. Now I want a 13x, so I need one more x. So that's taken care of. X, I just need to multiply by 1, and 1 times 6 is 6. Now you'll notice I need a negative 7, don't I? So I'm going to need a negative 13 up here in order to get negative 7. But here's the problem. What do I multiply x by to get negative 13? I can't get x to get smaller. Like I can make it x cubed, I can make it x to the 5th by multiplying by x's, but there's no way I can take the x away. And so what's happening is this is your remainder. If that happens, if you ever have that whatever you put in this box is smaller in exponents as what's out there, then whatever you have here is going to be a remainder. So my answer at this point is going to be 2x plus 1 with a remainder of negative 13. But unfortunately, we don't write this r business. So what we do is we say it equals 2x plus 1 plus, and here's the idea of a remainder. A remainder is still being divided by what you're dividing by. It just, because it can't go in evenly, it's now going to be a fraction. And so we write plus, our remainder was negative 13 over x plus 6. So we've got our polynomial here plus this fraction of the remainder. All right, let's try another one. So we've got x minus 2. Set it up, we get 3x cubed. So in order to get 3x cubed, I need 3x squared. 3x squared times negative 2 is negative 6x squared. Now I want negative 2x, so I'm going to have to put a positive 4x squared there, so it gives me a negative 2x squared. So 4x will give me 4x squared. Multiply times negative 2, I get negative 8x. I want 2x, so I'm going to have to put a 10x up here to give me 2. Alright, so now x times, well, 10 will give me 10x. And 10 times negative 2 is negative 20. I want a negative 5, so I'm going to have to put a positive 15 up here. But again, I can't make x into 15, so this is going to be my remainder. So my answer is going to be 3x squared plus 4x plus 10 plus, now with my remainder, it's going to be 15 over what I was dividing by, x minus 2, because it's still being divided by x minus 2. Okay, sometimes you're going to divide by bigger things. So here I need to set up a box that is 3 deep here. So this will be kind of interesting. X squared minus 2x plus 2. So try and bear with me. You might even want to try in this one without me first. So in this first section I have put 2x to the 4th. To get 2x to the 4th I need 2x squared. So I'm going to take that and multiply it all the way down. So I get minus 4x cubed. And then I get 4x squared. So 2x to the 4th is taken care of. Now let's focus on the cubed. I want 3x cubed, but I have negative 4, so I'm going to need a positive 7x cubed now. So to get positive 7x cubed, this would have to be 7x. And multiplying my way down, let's see, that would be, excuse me, 14x squared negative, and then 14x positive. Alright, so now you'll notice now I have x squareds going on, but there's no x squared here. So I need these to cancel out completely. So far what I have is I have 4x squared and negative 14x squared. When I add those together, that's negative 10x squared. So I need a positive 10x squared here for those to all cancel out to nothing. So to get a positive 10x squared, I would need this to be 10. And multiplying that down, I get negative 20x. And then I get 20. Okay, so now I'm looking at my x's. I want 5x. Right now I have 14x minus 20x. That's a negative 6x. So negative 6x, I would have to get 11x up here to be a positive 5x. So those all cancel out. Also, I need a negative 1. Now, notice I'm kind of moving on because there's no way I can make x squared down into an x. Remember, this exponent is bigger than this one. So I'm now looking at remainders. So right now I just want to focus on how can I get these to make this. So now I've gotten my x, so now I need to get my unit. I have 20. So to get negative 1, I'm going to need negative 21 also. So this together is going to be my remainder. So my answer is 2x squared plus 7x plus 10 plus, now the fraction 11x minus 21 over the thing I was dividing by, x squared minus 2x plus 2. Alright, looks like I just have one more and we're done. So set it up, x minus 1. We got an x cubed here. This makes x squared. Minus x squared there if I multiply through. X cubed's taken care of. Guess what? Negative x squared is taken care of too. Oh boy, that's interesting. So that's taken care of. So now what I need is a negative 2x. So that's what I'll put right here is negative 2x. And to get that, that'd be negative 2. And negative 2 times negative 1 is a positive 2. But I need an 8, so this would need to be 6. But once again, exponents going down isn't going to work, so this is my remainder. So it equals x squared minus 2 plus 6 over what I divided by x minus 1. That would be my answer.